Hey there, it's Rachel from All About Planners. In this video I'm doing a review of the Productivity Planner. So if you're looking for an alternative to the traditional daily and weekly planners which have the days of the week and scheduling space, if you're looking for something that doesn't have any of that, this one's very much task focused and could be a good fit for you. So in terms of the size, it is very portable because it is only 5.25 inches wide by about 8.5 inches high. Because it has the sewn like bookbinding, it's very light and also very thin. Doesn't weigh any more than my Kindle, so you could easily take this with you in your handbag. It's only about, I'd say, a bit more than 1 centimeter thick, maybe 1.5, so very thin, and it has an elastic band to keep it closed. And also loving the gold foil on the front, because most planners that have the bookbinding always just like black and plain boring cover, which is so annoying. This one at least has the name of the planner in gold, which stands out against the black. So we've got the This Belongs To page, and then we go into the actual planner. So it has some tips, and then we go into the pages. So at the front they tell you a lot about like productivity and some tips and some things to keep in mind, which not many other planners do. So I mean, it's a good idea that they include it, but you can kind of just get all that stuff for free online from blog posts and things. I'd rather not. I feel like I'm paying for it because it's part of the planner and they have to pay to print it on these pages, so to me it's not really necessary to have that in there, but they do. So if you want to have a read of it, it's there. It tells you some different ways to use the pages. So this is basically what it looks like, and they've just extracted it to give you some examples of different ways to use it. Now this I do actually like. I like when planners give you some different ideas, especially when it's a non-typical layout. So if you want to have a look at that, I'll take a photo and it will be in the blog post, which will be linked in the description box below. Now it has a productivity score section, and it also continues, as you probably saw, it advised you to use the Pomodoro technique because it has that built in to the pages. So again, if you're someone that doesn't want a traditional planner, would be a good option. You have this commitment page. I don't usually fill out that stuff, but it's there if you want it. And some more guide pages. Okay, now this is what I wanted to talk about. So you've got weekly planning and daily planning pages. So in the weekly planning, I really like this 3 sections. You got most important, next, and then if you have time, and nice big check boxes, so you'd have plenty of room if you do what I do, where you like track what you're up to. So I usually draw a line when it started and then shade in half the box when I'm working on it, and then when the whole box is shaded, that means it's finished. So nice big boxes is always good to have. And then we go into the second and the last ones. So after the weekly, you have the daily planning. Now there's different quotes throughout this planner, which is always good. And then same format as the weekly, where you've got most important, secondary, and additional. It's just that it's only got 5 for the day instead of 5 for each. So very much like the focus on 3 in this planner, because I always do a top 3 for week, month, day. So this one has that built in, and I'm also keen to try the Pomodoro. Like I do it sometimes, but I don't really. I think I've done it once where I actually like properly tracked it, whereas this one, it's got that built in. So I wanted to give that a go. Some note space, and then a productivity score. Now I'm not normally someone that uses a daily planner, for the very reason that there's too much space on the page and I feel like I'm just wasting it. But this one, because it's different, has a different layout, which is very task focused, which is what I do, and the page size is a lot smaller. I am going to give this one a go, and hopefully it works out better than the other ones. I've been on the hunt for non-traditional planners, and I really do think this one is much different than all of the others, which just have generic scheduling space, which I never really follow. Like I'm just getting a bit sick of the same old layouts that all the planners just seem to copy off each other. So nice refreshing change to come across the productivity planner. Alrighty, so then we go into the weekly review section. So another reason why I like this planner is because of this review. So not many planners include space to like plan the week in a goal section and then review it. For whatever reason, a lot of planners miss out the review part, which I usually then just put on in a like separate notebook, but at least this one has it built in. So a couple of questions. What are your wins? What stuff did not get done? And what have you learned? And then what are you going to do next week? So you could adapt this into bullet journal. If you didn't want to buy the planner, you could adapt this whole layout and give it a go, and then if you liked it, then you could go for the planner. Because it is a US planner, if you live in Australia like I do, the cost to get it here is a bit pricey to ship. So continue the whole way through the planner. Now you'll probably notice there is no monthly planning space. It's just weekly and then mainly focused on daily planning. The other thing I point out, there's lots of good quotes throughout the planner. Simple, minimalist, black and white, so you can add lots of color if you want to, and also gender neutral, not very girly or feminine. Continued throughout the whole planner, and then at the very back, oh, I did some pen testing. So, as you probably noticed, I don't know if it's showing up properly on the video, but the paper of this planner is yellow. I do not like yellow paper. I think it's gross and looks cheap, and it always looks a bit funky with like highlighters and pens. I just don't like it. And the other reason that I don't like it is because it also, I feel like it's more obvious, showing the pen on the back side of the paper, and this paper was really bad. Like, look how much it showed through. Like, all of the pens, whether ballpoint, gel, marker, highlighters, stamps, everything showed through the other side of the page. So if I use the planner, I'm going to have to skip a couple of pages because that would just drive me absolutely nuts to see that much bleed through on the back, which is very disappointing because this planner is not that cheap, and because it's a daily planner and it's quite thin, it doesn't have enough for an entire year. So it is a bit pricey for what you get, and then the paper quality is not that fantastic. So I was a little disappointed. Okay, so at the back you've got a productivity checkpoint, and then that's pretty much it. So there's not really notes pages, hence why I had to do the pen testing on one of the actual planning pages. There's not really a lot to it apart from the daily and the weekly, and I feel like you could just do that yourself without having like a structured page. You could just draw that up on your own. So on the whole, I like that it's different to other planners and that it's task focused rather than just, you know, hourly scheduling, which all of the planners seem to have. However, I don't think it is worth actually buying it. I would just adapt the layout and the like principles behind it and how they suggest using it and do it yourself rather than buying the planner. That's just my 2 cents. I don't often say that about a planner, but I do feel like this is quite basic and a bit overpriced. So I hope you found this review helpful. I'll have the link in the description box below to more pictures of the planner if you wanted to have a closer look, and also some of those pages at the front where they suggested different ways to use it if you were interested in that. Link will be below. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel for more planner reviews. I usually do 1 or 2 each week. I'll see you in the next video.